If you'd like to get this and or any other Safari Ltd product, make sure to head over to www.safariltd.com and use the promo code KikiandCoffee at checkout, or use the link provided in the description to not only save 15% off of your next order, but you will also be financially supporting myself and the channel. So without further ado, what is up guys, it is KikiZilla101 here yet again, and welcome back to One Take Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing my final 2020 Safari Ltd review of my batch that I got from the Safari figures recently. Now of the 2020 line, there wasn't many figures I wanted to get. I'm still kind of back and forth on the Chiansosaurus. May end up getting it, not sure though. Still want to get the Pachycephalosaurus, which was my third most excited figure for the year. And I don't have that one yet because it's really expensive, like stupidly expensive, so I didn't get that one. But I did get the Sarcosuchus because it's a little bit cheaper, and this one was definitely my fourth spot because I was pretty excited about the fact that there was just a Sarcosuchus, but it definitely didn't look that good in the promo pictures. It had a lot of accuracy issues and just was not looking of the highest quality, and so I was really nervous about this one. So it was like kind of a nervous excitement. But I have to say, getting it in person, it really surprised me. It instantly actually became my favorite out of all of the 2020 stuff I got. Now, I don't think it's the objective best. I solidly stand by that. The Ichthyosaurus is definitely objectively the best one out of all of these. However, at the current moment, it's pretty much a tie between this one and the Ichthyosaurus. But this one was my favorite at first, when I got it out of the packaging. So, what exactly changed in person? Well, for one, the detail was way better than I expected, because in particular the tail looked pretty bad in the promo pictures because of how big the scales were. It just didn't look real for an actual 40-foot crocodilian, and the proportions looked awful. And they still, do not get me wrong, this entire review, I will compliment this figure, but do not get me wrong, the proportions and accuracy on this thing, all of those issues that were there before are still here. Every single one of them. This is still not an accurate Sarcosuchus, but I will be complimenting certain things about it in this review. So, yes, the in person, it looks a lot better. The proportions don't bother me as much in person, and it looks a lot better. It looks very lively. It looks really cool with the pose with it walking, even though it doesn't quite feel like a 40-foot crocodilian. And I think that really does have a lot to do with the walking pose, because something that's 40 feet, it just seems a lot less realistic to just see it striding around, even though it probably did. I think that's just, maybe it would have been a little better to just put it on its belly, because it's kind of hard to pull it off, making it look like it actually has a lot of weight to it. And the limbs just in general look way too big. In terms of accuracy, the limbs are just way too big, the tail's too short. Although the tail looked way shorter in the promo pictures, I have to say in person it looks a lot better. The head is far too small. It's probably the biggest issue, is the head is far too small for Sarcosuchus, and the front of the snout is far too bulbous. And that's funny because it's Sarcosuchus, but it's like far too vertically bulbous. The tip of Sarcosuchus' snout was quite pancake-like. It was definitely a bulb there, but it wasn't as vertical. It wasn't as bubbly. It was definitely more of a pancakey kind of bulbous. So that's definitely an inaccuracy. And the teeth are just not even close to right. They're way too small. Not the correct spacing or shaping to them. I mean, in terms of like size and how they go back and forth. Also, this beaver type tooth thing that's going on here, I have no idea what's going on with that. Why they grouped up the two different parts of the teeth and had a gap there. It's just very weird on the actual animal. The teeth just consistently go across the front of the mouth, and they're way more spaced out than this, so I have no idea why it's got like pseudo beaver teeth. But yeah, that's very odd. Anyways, let's get on to complimenting this figure, because the detail alone is really, really good, and actually my favorite part is definitely this subtle detail across the back ridge of the animal, and some of that is on the face. And on the camera here, it really comes out, but right here around here, it's really hard to see the detail in person. It just looks really smooth. But there is definitely some really nice detail to be had here. Just really, really well sculpted. Minus this part. I mean, like, these are huge scales, and I don't know why the grooves are disappearing. so much here, so that's kind of odd, assuming how big it is. The color scheme is really nice. It's a very crocodilian-like color scheme. It seems like the patterns in particular are very caiman-like, or juvenile alligator-ish, but mostly caiman. So very cool in that department. They also are very gharial-like in some ways. Some gharials have similar patterns to this. Now, this figure also shares an identical color scheme to the Constructive, well, not identical, but essentially the same color scheme as the Safari Ltd. Constructus and the Safari Ltd. 2019 Spinosaurus. Now, I don't have either of those figures to show you and compare directly, but they both basically have a lighter tan on the belly, a darker brown over the top, and green eyes. That's consistent across all of them. I think that the Constructus is the most tan overall and almost has some of them even have almost like an olivey green to it. This one has the most natural and well executed color scheme of the bunch. I definitely have to say this one did it the best. The Safari Ltd. Spinosaurus, I have seen that one in person. I've held it. Definitely my least favorite of the three in terms of the color execution. I think it's a little bit more goldish and vibrant yellowy. Don't think it looks quite as good, and the green eyes stand out on all three of them, but I do think they stand out the least on this one. Now, with that said, it is quite an unoriginal color scheme at this point. It's quite sad to see that they keep repeating that, even if it is like slightly altered between them. I really wish they could do something different, but to their credit, this figure does it the best out of the three. I think it looks really nice on this one in particular. The other thing I'm going to talk about is the quality control issue on this one. This one has the least quality control issues out of all of the Safari Ltd. 2020 figures I got. And mine is with the eyes. This eye is a good eye. It's how it's supposed to look. It's got this green color, this like army green color, and the slit pupil. This eye is covered in brown paint. And at first, this was an issue for me. I didn't like it. I was very upset that mine had a messed up eyeball. However, I have to honestly say I grew to like this side better. Not only does this side look really cartoony and fake, but the cloudiness to the eye really makes him look creepy from this angle. And it looks almost like maybe he's blinded, or there's some mud in his eye, or it's just like the lighting that won't let you see the pupil. And I really think that this one looks just really cool. And I honestly think I'm either going to go and take brown paint and dab in some in this eye to make it match this side, or I may redo both eyes with a more dark like green, brownish green or something in there, and then give it a slight pupil. But yeah, honestly, really grew to like this eye. Unfortunately, I can almost guarantee that you're probably not going to get it identical to mine, but you actually have a pretty good chance of getting a quality control issue because Safari Ltd. 2020's line has been really consistent with quality control issues. So you may get, quote, lucky, depending on your point of view, and get a messed up eye like mine. Or even both of them. If you get both of them, I'll trade you. Yeah, the feet on this guy look kind of poor. They're really poorly sculpted, and the bottom of the feet are extremely lazy. It's nice to see that Safari's still sculpting the bottom of the feet, but like, these are just clearly stamped on there, and they're so lazy. The toes aren't even done. It's like some of the laziest sculpting I've seen on any of the Safari figures recently, is the bottom of these feet is just stamped on there. But, I mean, they are the bottom of the feet. So I'm really not going to complain about that. But I do want to acknowledge it because I don't want this to start becoming a trend. But yeah, this figure, just very naturalistic looking. Really nice. Really happy to have a Sarcosuchus figure. Not only just a Sarcosuchus figure, but a decent Sarcosuchus figure. Not even just a decent one, a good one. I actually do think this is a good Sarcosuchus figure. It's not an accurate Sarcosuchus figure. Still want to make that clear. Not an accurate Sarcosuchus figure. But it is a nice one. And if you're a fan of Sarcosuchus and you've been waiting as long as I have for a nice Sarcosuchus figure, you have one in this. It is a good Sarcosuchus figure. You will be happy with it. But you will not get 100% accuracy Sarcosuchus here. It does have this really nice, should mention actually, this structure along the back, the way that these plates go, is actually on Sarcosuchus, so it's nice that they actually kept that on there. That's an accuracy point for them. But yeah, basically, think I'm going to be giving this one a solid 8 out of 10. Can't really give it too much higher because of the quality control issue. Objectively is a flaw, and the accuracy really holds it back for me. It's also got some really weak sculpting in terms of the feet. I think they're really poor looking. These back feet kind of look weird and awkward, and the weird lazy sculpting on the bottom, but also the beaver teeth. There's a lot of issues that stack up against it, but I think proportionally to how much I'm rating it, this one sways quite a bit because I like it a lot more than I am rating it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, but I like it more. So if you're a Sarcosuchus fan and you like naturalistic crocodilian figures or anything like that, or you have any naturalistic crocodilian figures and you're really impressed with them, odds are you may end up really liking this one. But objectively, it's getting an 8 out of 10. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Actually, I lied. Before I go, I'm going to give you a control size comparison with the Safari Tyrannus and the 2019 Constructive. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.